All right, good morning, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're seeing this from. Good morning. I just had a good walk, but I've got this thing I want to talk to y'all about. I had an experience, and it really made me think about some things. And I feel like if I tell this to you guys, that it might help y'all too. So here we go. I was at work one day and something happened, and I was just kind of feeling down on myself, and I spiraled. I'm not gonna lie to you. I spiraled, and I just kind of got down on myself for a minute, and I started thinking about my life. Started thinking about how I didn't have any friends, or I had very few friends, and I was just thinking about how things in my life weren't going the way I wanted them to go, and just being generally down. You know how you spiral, right? And so that continued for a little while, and it was really weird because I didn't go into depression like I thought I would about something like that, like thinking about how people don't care about me. I got to this point to where it's just like nobody cares about me. If I drop dead right now, nobody would say anything, nobody would do anything, that it just, nobody would care. And as I sat in the thought of reality of somebody not caring, to say it another way, making a reality of thinking that nobody cares about me, I started to realize something. No one really cares about anybody for real. And then I started to have a weird thought. What if that were true? What if it was true that nobody cared about what you did or said or thought? What would happen? Like what would be the consequence of nobody caring about you? And then I realized, that's kind of a blessing. And I thought I was going crazy for a minute, but I really started to think about it. Wait a minute. If I don't have to perform for anybody because nobody cares about me, then I don't have to worry about being a particular way for other people to feel okay with me. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to conform. I don't have to do any of that crazy stuff that I thought I had to do. I thought I had to keep up appearances. But come to find out, or come to think about it, nobody cares about me. So nobody cares whether I succeed or fail. Nobody cares. I mean, obviously my family, they would care. Or they have some care, but it's not care for me, it's care for performance. To put that another way, I will simply say was a pastor by the name of Miles Monroe. Very fantastic minister and scholar and businessman and public speaker and figure and all of that stuff. But he once said one time that nobody cares about you. They only really care about your gift. They only want to eat your fruit, meaning the thing that you do is the only thing they care about. They want to read your books, they want to hear your music, they want whatever it is that you do, they want the production value of what you create. They don't care about you as an entity, as a person, as a thing. They want to eat your fruit. And when I first heard that, it really rubbed me the wrong way, because I was like, Well, it's not cool with me that people don't care about me. And I couldn't understand how that was something that should have been freeing. But now I kind of understand it from the standpoint of I don't have to perform. I don't have to be a certain way. And I shouldn't look for, people who require me to be a certain way in order for me to be okay with myself. You see, I've had this understanding for a long time that we've come from God. And if you believe in God the way I believe in God, you know that God is simply consciousness. And we come from this consciousness. Think of God like this. Think of God as the sun, our sun in the solar system. I mean, he's so much bigger than that and so much grander than that, but this is about the only way I can say what I'm trying to say. He is the sun, and as the creator of everything on earth, everything else is simply rays of light, vibrations in a vast ocean of light. Basically, that's what everything is. So us, as this light of consciousness, we have this ability to focus on things, meaning we can shine our light on specific things. We can just pinpoint our light onto things. And the funny thing about it is, if you're a Bible reader and you read, that's how God created everything. He created all of this stuff by the light of his consciousness, by saying and expressing what he wanted to be with his words, and then focusing on those words as actual things. That's how the world was created if you're a Bible believer. And there are some other scriptural texts that will echo that as well. But you are a spark of this consciousness. And what you place your attention on is actually what gets manifested. You see, your life is the way your life is because you have chosen to put your focus on this particular thing. All throughout the Bible, there is a statement saying, "Be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." It keeps telling you to put your focus on things that's not this world per se, right? Make your thoughts about the things you want them to be about. You pray by declaring that things are what you want them to be, by believing that the thing you said has already penetrated consciousness, because guess what? You are consciousness. If you weren't consciousness, there would be no way that you could move your legs or arms or feet or whatever else. There would be no way that you could perceive that when your body was asleep on the bed, that you could perceive that there is light somewhere else and have a dream. There would be no way for that. So you are simple consciousness, and you can choose to put your focus on what you want to put your focus on. And so I'm simply here saying, you don't have to be a certain way. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to do anything. You are a spark of the divine, an essence or a piece of the essence that makes up this entire world and this entire universe. Honestly, I don't know how vast the being is that created us, this little spark, but I kind of believe it's endless. And so I'm saying right now, know that you don't have to conform to anybody or their standards. You don't have to give in to peer pressure. You don't have to be like them. You don't have to do anything. You can simply exist and understand that you are a divine spark in a human body. And know that everything else that you look at is a vibration of God in some consciousness or another. If you look at everything on earth under a microscope, if you get down to microscopic levels where you can look at atoms and protons and neutrons and all those things. I'm not a physicist by any stretch of the imagination. But if you look at it, you will see things vibrating at a microscopic level. This vibration is what makes up our felt and visible and hearing and smell and all of this kind of stuff. Everything's vibration. But you are simple consciousness. That's it. So I want to ask you today, if you're depressed, if you're feeling down on yourself, you got like a big presentation to do, if you're worried about coming across the right way, if you're worried about anything on earth right now, I want to ask you, what are you focusing on? Is it something positive or negative, empowering or disempowering? Because really there's no positive or negative. Somebody's positive can be somebody else's negative and vice versa. What are you focusing on? What are you shining the light of your consciousness on? Are you pointed at the stars? You pointed at the stars, or are you pointed at the dirt, the mud? Are you thinking about the aspects of yourself that are good and great and noble? Or are you thinking about the parts that somebody told you was not good enough for them? Which they got all the right in the world to say. They can say whatever they want to say about what they feel and what they think and all of that other stuff. That's them. You don't have to be in their world, and they don't have to be in yours. But what are you shining the light of your consciousness on? See, the light of your consciousness has the ability to propel you into different dimensions almost. It has the potential to push you into things that you want to be a part of, and also things you don't want to be a part of. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about this right now. That's one of the reasons why I'm making this video, is because you can point the light of your consciousness wherever you'd like for it to be. Right now, the light of my consciousness is on you. That's why I'm making this video. And I really hope that you hear the words that I'm saying right now, because truly, your consciousness creates your reality. I can put it in a way that will be tangible to you. When you're on the interstate and somebody slams on their brakes, you have two choices. You got more than two choices, but we'll just focus on these two for now. You can focus on how they almost made you run into them, or we can focus on the fact that you didn't hit them because you were aware in your mind about what was going on around you, and be grateful for the situation that you did not hit that person. Most of us get mad that the person is being slow, or they did something stupid or whatever. But I'll challenge you to go with the positive thought and say, man, it's great that I did not hit that person. It's great that they weren't harmed in any kind of way. It's great. This is great. This is fantastic. Thank you. Some kind of gratitude. But I want to leave you with that. I want to leave you with, use the light of your consciousness for something positive, for something noble. Start thinking about yourself way more positively. I did a video a long time ago about the problem with organized religion. And the basic problem with most organized religion is they want you to have an idea or a thought about a God somewhere apart from you. There is no God apart from you. And the only way you come into the power that God has given you is if you accept the power that is already within you. He beats your heart and thinks your thoughts for you. He moves your body and gives you dreams and all of that kind of stuff. That's you. You have to have some idea that the God of all the universe is stuffed inside of you. All of creation is inside of you right now, right here and right now. And that's a hard thing to think about. People think it's ego. It's not ego. And I don't want it to sound like it's an ego thing. But just know you can't change anything if you don't think of yourself highly, if you don't think of yourself as able to do anything. If you think it's out of your hands, then it's out of your hands, and there's like no way that you can control it. There's no way that you can change it or help it. God didn't make us to be doormats. He told us to subdue the earth. I forgot where it is. If I find it, I'll put it in the description. But he told us to subdue the earth. Subdue the earth. Bring it into subjection under our feet. That was the commandment. That was the commandment from Genesis. I know it's in Genesis somewhere. You are way more than you think. You are so much more than you think you are. And there's nothing that can stop you. That fear is just the border of where your soul is at this current time. Push past the fear and go for what you want. Go for what you dream of. Do that thing that makes you scared. That's it. I hope y'all have a real good day. Like, comment, subscribe.